So here's a little thing with Cody, the walking horse. The owner said he didn't like going in living quarters trailers. So here's a little thing I'm going to do with. He's doing good enough with the not touching me and the patience that we thought we'd introduce the trailer to him. And I'll show you how I'm going to let him decide to go in there on his own. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to send him over here. And he's going to stop right there square. He's got to stop. He doesn't get to keep moving. I'm going to pet him. Now we're going to bring him around and let him look. He doesn't have to get in. But I'm going to pet him right here. Now I'm going to back him out. And I'm going to send him around here again. He has to stand still. I need to bring him back up here and let him stand still. He has to stay where I put him. He doesn't get to fiddle around. He's got to stand still right there. I'm going to bring him back up here till he stands still. There, I'll pet him. Now I'll bring him around and let him look inside the trailer again. Remember, this is a good old saddle horse. One of the things that was on her list was he wouldn't go in a living quarters trailer. And I imagine it's because the door was just half of the back. So I'm going to let him teach himself to go in there. Got to stand still. Remember, just like the side of the trailer, he's got to come up here and stand still. He don't have to get in. I'm not going to make him get in. There. He's just standing there. Now I'm going to back him out again. Now he has to go over here and stand still, doesn't he? He doesn't get to wiggle around. He just has to come over here and stand still. And he doesn't get to rub on me and touch me. He needs to learn to stand quietly. This is no different than tying him to the trailer right here. Just let him stand still and I'll pet him. But every time he moves his feet, I'm going to put him back to standing still again. All right, we'll take him over here again. I'm not going to make him go in. He just has to stand still. Good. Remember, I'm not going to put him in here. He's going to load himself. Left and right means back up. He's going to come over here and stand still. I don't want that butt in my face. There. Perfect. He has to stand still. Standing still is hard for him. So the task is he gets to move, but then he has to stand still. It just so happens I've got him right here on the corner of this trailer where he could go in if he wanted to keep moving. Send him around. Standing still is hard for him, remember? If he wants to go in there, we'll let him. But I'm not going to make him. Now I'm going to back him out again. But if he wants to do those extra steps, he'll be in that trailer on his own. He has to stand still. I'm going to make him go a little further down the trailer here. There we go. Just like that. And let's pet him. He likes to be petted. There. I don't want him wiggling into me. Just rub him. Okay. He has to look in the trailer. This was one of the things on her list that he said that she'd like to have worked on. Now this time, I'm just going to back him straight up. Now remember, he wants to go, he wants to move his feet. We'll let him move his feet. And he can just stand there for a minute. Now he backed out, so I'll bring him over here to this side. Bring him down here just a little further. Get that shoulder to step across. There. Now he's got to stand there. He doesn't get to wiggle into me. Now every time now, when he backs out of that trailer, I'm going to bring him clear over here and make him stand still. It's hard for him. We'll use that. Bring him around. Now he gets to stand still right there. I work with different horses in different ways. I experiment and play with them all the time. Best way to work with a horse that has a non-typical response is to just experiment. I'm just going to keep petting him. Now, if he backs out, I'll put him over there on the side and make him stand still. And I'm just going to keep rubbing him. You can see him leaning in and out. He's thinking about getting in there. 100% his idea. I'm keeping this rope picked up so he don't step on it. And I am not going to drive him in there. This is a pretty forward-thinking horse anyway. Standing still and relaxing is hard for him, but also he really likes going forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. Standing still in the back of this trailer is probably not his favorite thing. And if he likes standing at an angle like that, that's okay too. Remember, he's going to determine what we do next. If he doesn't back out, we'll just stay right here. Eventually, he'll either go in or back out, and when he backs out, he'll know he's chosen wrong, chosen poorly. When he goes all the way in, then he's made a decision on his own that's mutually beneficial to both of us. It'll be his idea, and then it'll be his idea forever. He knows if he stands here, he's not in trouble. I'm just going to leave him alone. Let him think. He backed out, so I'm going to send him over here. Now he has to stand still right here at the trailer. So wherever he goes, he still ends up standing still, but he doesn't get to crowd into me. He kind of thinks that crowding into people is okay. Now he's sat here for a few minutes. Let's give him some more options. Now he did that on his own. He 100% did that on his own. I gave him two choices. And the two choices were stand on the side of the trailer right here, or self-load in here. And now, he's real pushy about getting out. So what we're going to do is, when I watched him unload this horse, watched him unload him, he really wanted to rush out. He gets bothered standing still and being quiet. That's what we're working on. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pop this latch. I don't want him turning around. Nah. Well, he turned around because I got this stupid camera in my face. We're going to let him take one step out. We're going to back him up. One step out. We'll back him up. One step out. We'll back him up. Now he has to stand still. When he relaxes, and he'll relax, I'm going to step out to the side and just let him walk out. Okay. I've got this stupid camera in my hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to let him load himself one more time. And then we'll work on him walking out of the trailer slower in the next video. We'll bring that down just a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing. He just gets in a hurry. And obviously I can't work on that the way I got my camera set up. So we'll just work on him. We'll just work on him relaxing. And he can stand here. And just relax. And get a pet. Just relax and chill. I want him chilling out to be the reward. I'm going to put my fingers in his mouth. I'm going to pet his face. I just want him to relax. Now, we're going to give him the same drill until he goes back in the trailer again. If he backs out, I'll make him go stand over there again. If he goes in, so he chose. He can stand right here. He can just stand right here. Now we'll send him around again. So he gets to choose, back out or go in. If he backs out, I'll send him over there. He gets to decide. And pretty quick, he'll decide the good way every time. You see him leaning forward? This is a real forward thinker. And I ain't going to make him go in. If he wants to back out and go stand over on the side of the trailer, I'm going to let him. He doesn't get to go over there. He has to go where I put him. I need him to step up there, quit throwing a temper fit, and stand still. There, good. He has to look at me. Attention span. Now we'll load him again. And we'll wait. We'll give him a chance to think and process. Now I could smack him on the butt and drive him in, but I want him to make the decision. I want him to do it. He opted to back out, so I'll give him another job to do. And remember, him standing still and relaxing is hard for him. has to stay where I put him. Okay, we'll let him go. And if he wants to just stand here at an angle, what we said before, it's fine. And at the same time, we're working on him going places and standing still. You can't teach him to be quiet if you're moving him around all the time. Now he doesn't get to go that way. He has to go the way I want him to go. He doesn't get to ignore me. We're working on attention span, quiet, thinking, following a feel. All these things at the same time. Relaxation. And if he wants to stand in the back of a trailer tipped up like that, but he's standing still, that's a win-win for all of us. He opted to leave. Bring him up here again. Working on him standing still, attention, relaxing. He doesn't get to leave until I ask him to. There. Now we'll send him. Back to rubbing him with the stick again. It's easier for me to rub him with the stick than it is my hands and stand in this weird way. Back over here. He has to stand still and not push into me. There. There. Now he's starting to relax a little more, isn't he? You can see it. Now I'm going to send him. Keep his head straight. Now I'm going to back him out. Send him over here again. There. Good. If he's got time to chew on weeds, he's got time to pay attention to us. All right? We're going to send him again. Now, it would be really easy to hit him, but that wouldn't be the lesson we're trying to teach. The lesson that we're trying to teach him is to go where I put you and stand still and relax. That's the most important part of this, is him deciding to get on there to, I guess, if he gets to decide to go on there, he'll think it was his idea, and he won't be so hard to get on there. He'll know that if he goes on there, we leave him alone. I'm going to back him out. And I'm going to send him over here again. And I want him to just relax over here. A little further. He's got to go where I point. There we go. He's got to look at me. There I go. And this gets to be kind of boring for him, I would imagine. Now we're going to back him out again. Now we're going to load him again. And we're working on him coming off of the trailer too fast at the same time we're putting him on here. There's a lot of things we're doing at the same time. You seen him rush out of here earlier. Well, if I load him halfway and it's easy for him, and then teach him to walk off slow, we might just make it happen both ways, slow and soft. Bring him back. I'm going to back him up a couple steps because he needs practice doing that anyway. Now we'll send him in. get him. Back him out. You see how he's getting quieter? More willing to stand still? These are things he needed to work on anyway. One more time. Bring him over here again. Want him to step over. Yeah. His attention span's pretty short. Now I'm going to back him out. And I'm going to send him over here again. Now he can wait. He can stand square. Now we'll send him again. Now we're going to back him out. He gets to stand still, he gets left alone. over here, down that hill, and look. There. And it's not his first choice, you know. There. That was nice and slow. So leave him alone. Good. Just tapping on this foot right here just to add a little incentive to the deal. Send him back over here again. You wait. You wait. Good. All of this stuff is happening slow and controlled. Slow and controlled, which is exactly the opposite of him getting worried and full of anxiety and building energy. Everything he's doing right, and he's doing it quiet. Now that was a straight back out, so I'm going to put him straight back in. Now I'm going to put him to work again. Real simple and quiet. There we go. And he gets kind of frustrated. Right now he's a little frustrated. We're going to work our way through it. He has to come forward off paw pressure. He doesn't get to not go in here. That exercise was went from that side of the trailer to the front. Good. The exercise wasn't complete till he stepped up in there. So he can either stand over there or stand in the back of this trailer. He's got the choice. He's got the power. He's got the power. I'm not taking that away from him. But the choices are pretty limited. Pretty limited. Now remember, I'm touching that foot right there. There. I'll just let him stand there. He needs to practice relaxing anyway. Good enough. Couple of seconds. That's good enough. Now I'm going to add a little incentive to this back leg. Good. And I'm assuming they probably didn't tap on that leg to make him go forward. I'm assuming that. I don't know it. So I'm just using a different place. Like a plan B, if you will. We're going to back him out again. He needs to practice backing out anyway. He needs to practice standing still over here at the corner of my trailer too. So if this doesn't end up being perfect today, it's okay, it's a starter. All right, we'll just send him around again. Now we're just going to let him stand in there for a second. And then what I'll do is I'll go up there and I'll pet him, and I'll hold him straight so he can't turn around. He has got to learn to relax and release that anxiety. Hey kid, what's up? How's it going, huh? We'll see if we can get him to back out one step at a time. And we'll probably call that good for today. But it's a starter. Pretty quick. He'll go over there and stand still. And he'll go in the trailer and stand still. Over there and stand still. In the trailer and stand still. I know when they first brought him, he really was anxious about getting out of the trailer. So my job is to stay safe when I go in there and to have him at least take 1 or 2 slow steps coming out. We got slow steps at the very end. Now we're going to have to try to get a slow step in the trailer. And you may not be able to see that, but you'll see me come out. And then we'll film it a different way to show you how I work on coming out of the trailer slow. Let's see what happens. He has to stand still. And that's better than turning around and running out of there. What I did was I put the rope through the ring, and he took a step and I petted him. But we'll film the other part of this video tomorrow. And so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Him backing up and being slower and relaxed. Right now he needs to be tied up for a little bit and let him work on his patience and his thoughts. But anyway, that's an experiment. That's one way you can get them to load. And when they've had some trouble loading a way like that, kind of 90% it's their idea. And it'll get better and better. But bye.